Hi and welcome back to the 8th video in our Introduction to On-Course series. This one we're going to be looking at going through the enrollment process, taking an enrollment. We've already gone through sites and rooms, we've created a course, and we've just finished creating our classes. We've gone through contacts, we've made our tutor and added them to the class as well. So now we just need to take this enrollment. And we'll show you how to do that. There's a couple of different ways to kick off the enrollment process. So if you're here where I am in the actual class window, you can come down to enrollments and click this plus button, and it will open up the checkout with the class populated already. You can see here this class is selected and it's already been added. We just need to add a contact. More commonly though, I suspect most of you will just come directly from here. Or you'll keep a checkout tab open and you'll add students this way. So the first thing we do is add a contact. So you type out, say, the contact's last name. We've got a lot of Smiths in here, as you can see. Let's say if Smith, this Smith wasn't in here, we could click Create New Student and it would add that last name. We just need to add their first name, and usually I would get an email address as well, because that way they get all of their confirmation emails once everything's complete. So they'll get things like their invoice or their enrollment confirmation emails. So let's just save that. If we want to add another contact, say if there's another person who is is also enrolling, or another person is actually going to be paying the invoice for Timmy, then you could add another person that way. Just by typing out their name as well. It could be a parent or something along those lines, and then just clicking them and adding them that way too. So let's say that Ben is actually related to Timmy and will be paying for Timmy's enrollment. So next we need to add the course. You can see here under items there's a few different things that we can add. You can add a course, membership, a voucher type, or a product. In this one we're just going to be looking mostly at courses. Keep on track. And here is our class. So we just pick the course there, you just saw from the menu, and then we click the class, and that is then added to the summary. So now we're in the summary section, and you can see here that Timmy has actually been added as the payer automatically, but we don't want that. We want Ben to be the one who's paying. So we'll hover over him down here and we'll click set as payer, and now we see Ben is set as the person who's paying the invoice, but he's also being enrolled, and we want to change that. Since obviously Timmy's only the person getting enrolled here, so we'll just click this and we see that the price changes. This goes back to 0 and it goes away. You might also notice here that this price is crossed out and that there's actually a smaller price here. That's because Timmy is obviously entitled to some kind of a discount. So if we open this up and expand this field, we can see here there's a discount actually being selected. So if you decide that maybe Timmy doesn't deserve the discount, you can remove that and click no discount. If you decide that you actually want to be able to set a manual price for Timmy, then you'd need to select a discount from the list. If you try to do this without a discount, you'll get a warning. You need to select a discount from the list and then come over here to the total and click the padlock, and you can set the price to whatever you want. Let's say we want to set this to $110. We've done that, and all of this will be tracked in the class budget. So all of these changes can be tracked. It just means the class budget is accurate. We don't need to send Ben a confirmation email of Timmy's enrollment. And I think we're all set here. If you want to add a separate customer reference number, you can do that down here. Some companies especially like that, things like purchase order numbers, or any kind of notes that you want to add, you can add them down there as well. So we come now to the payment section, and we can see that Ben actually has a previous owing invoice here of $500. He's not, let's say he doesn't want to pay that right now, or he can't pay that right now, and you're going to be lenient with him. So let's click on this. We can see, all right, it's only one invoice for $500. It was due 2nd of October last year, but like I said, we're going to be lenient, so we will uncheck this. And suddenly you see all of this changes. So now we're just back to paying the current invoice of $110. If you did for some reason want to let him get away with paying less than that, you can set that here. You can change that to say 60, and then you'll see the remaining amount comes down here, and you can set a date next to it, and that's like a due date that appears on the invoice. But in this case, we're just going to take the full payment, and then we select the payment method. So if you select either cash or basically if you select anything but credit card, then you're simply telling OnCourse that you have accepted the money. There's no way for OnCourse to actually verify that you've accepted or handed over cash or taken an FPOS payment. That's purely it's on a sort of a trust basis. So you've got to make sure that you're giving OnCourse the right information there. If you select credit card, then you can go and you have a credit card gateway, then you can go through the process of a credit card payment. And that's just it's pretty standard. You enter the number, obviously, card, expiry date, CVC, and then hit the finalize checkout button. You can store store the card details. We don't technically store card details in OnCourse. We just store a token that relates to the details that are saved in the payment gateway. So it's all secure. But in this case, we're just going to accept a cash payment. So it's nice and easy. Finalize checkout, and then we can see here Timmy's been sent his enrollment confirmation. We can click on this and go to the enrollment here, and that will show us the enrollment record. We can click on this and we can be taken to the invoice that was been sent to Ben. See here, the invoice was $110. It was paid by cash, $110, and now there is 0 owing. And then this here is actually just the payment ID as well. So if you actually want to review any details of the payment record, you can do that here. It's in a place called Payments In, which we'll cover in a separate video. And that's it. We've just taken an enrollment into our class. In the next video, I'm going to be showing you how to mark attendance, which can be useful, especially when it comes to verifying things like tutor pay and whether or not a student is able or allowed to be given a certificate for completing their class. We'll see you in that video soon.